different chapter 11 in the Bible, as well as on a Tuesday night for our 1 hour of power, 7:30 to 8:30, as that you would bring your Bibles with you. Judges 11, verses 1 through 3. Jephthah the Gileadite was a mighty warrior. His father was Gilead. His mother was a prostitute. Gilead's wife also bore him sons, and when they were grown up, they drove Jephthah away. "You are not going to get any inheritance in our family," they said, "because you are the son of another mother." So Jephthah fled from his brothers and settled in the land of Tob, where a group of adventurers gathered around him and followed him. You may be seated. I want to preach to about 200 of you in the room, using as a subject, the Lord is going to restore your reputation. The Lord is going to restore your reputation. Would you look at the person beside you, tell them, I got good news. Your reputation is being restored. If you believe it, give God glory even right now. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, what an incredible week this has been. America was reminded that no matter how hard you hit the ground, you can always rebound. All of us found ourselves sitting on the edge of our seats or on the edge of the bed in awe to see a man crawl out of Columbus, Ohio, who up until 1997 was doing radio voiceovers, spiral into a life of addiction, of crack cocaine and crime. He was really a picture for us of transformation and restoration. But having lost connection with his 6 children, having never seen his 12 grandchildren, having gone through a divorce, losing his career, lost his home, now living a life in a tent under a bridge, having spent time in jail on 4 different occasions. The last time he was before the magistrate was May 14th of 2010, when he was arrested in Columbus, Ohio, outside of the National Tire and Battery Store for repeatedly begging customers for money. The owner of that store called the police because in the back of the store he was stripped down to his underwear, having lost all of his clothes to thieves and robbers. Finding an overcoat and finding his way back onto the main highway, he found a cut-up piece of board and wrote with whatever instrument he could find, "I've lost everything, but I still have a God-given gift. And after losing my marriage, after losing my children, after losing my career, I have no idea why God has left me with the gift of my voice." And standing by the side of the road, holding up a sign, he declared, not knowing that a man was getting ready to change his life, he said, "Whatever you want me to announce, I'll announce it." He didn't know that that announcement was going to change his existence, was going to change his address, was going to change his finances, was going to change his family. And I came to Empowerment Temple to tell somebody in the room, I don't care what you lost in 2010. If you still got your voice, God said if you use your voice, everything you lost is going to be added back to you. I know some of you don't feel like making any noise in church, but if those of you that can be honest to say last year was a rough year for me, but I stand at the side of the road to announce the best is yet to come. If you don't feel like you're going to get your life back, please don't use your voice. But if you feel like after everything you've been through in your life, God is getting ready to add it back to you, I dare you to stand on the faith of a homeless man in Ohio and use your voice to declare the enemy meant it for evil, but God is going to work it out for your good. I come with great expectation today. You may be seated. I came with great expectation today to talk to some person who's at a place where you feel like you're getting ready to lose your family. Somebody who's really at your wit's end because even though you're trained, you may be educated, you can't find a job. There's somebody in the room that you were faithful, you were committed, and the person who you thought was going to stay with you walked away from you. God told me to make sure that you understand that while it is that you were losing stuff, I made sure your voice was still intact. There was a man by the name of blind Bartimaeus who was standing by the road, and the enemy thought that he had victory over Bartimaeus because he took Bartimaeus' vision. But while he took Bartimaeus' vision, he forgot that while Bartimaeus could not see, he could still speak. And isn't that an incredible word for the children of God who are in church today? That sometimes life will put you in a place where you can't see where you're going, but you can still talk your way out of it. And that there are so many people while looking at you today, they got no idea what you came out of. They don't know how you were stripped of your virtue and stripped of your peace and stripped of your happiness. But the enemy underestimated you because he thought you weren't going to talk about it. But you came to church and say, I had some good days and I had some bad days. And if you make me testify about what I've been through, it might make me cry, but I'm still gonna shout about it. If I start talking about the things that I saw and the people that used me and the situation that should have broken me, there's no way I should be in church and not be in a coma. But I thank God right now my voice is still intact. Ladies and gentlemen, that video was in fact shot 4 weeks ago, and it sat for 1 week. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it went viral. And after it went viral, all kind of offers began to open up. Already, he has done a mac and cheese commercial. Oprah Winfrey has offered him a job to do the voiceovers for the OWN network. He has secured a job to be the spokesperson for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Jack Nicholson called him yesterday and asked him to be in a movie with him. I can't talk to nobody in here. And after it was discovered that not only was he homeless, but that he had spent time in jail, some nosy busybody at Fox News called the president of Cleveland Cavaliers and said, are you still going to hire him after he did time in jail? And the president of the Cleveland Cavaliers said, I believe everybody deserves a second chance. And that there's somebody in this room that ought to thank God there were some people that tried to block you, some people that tried to limit you, some people that tried to leave you out, but there's somebody that's shouting today because God is a God of another chance. And if God gave you another chance, would you give him glory that God is doing something out of your life? Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how it is you were able to hold dry eyes, but to see Ted Williams reunited with his mother, who is now 90 years of age. And his mother said, son, all I ask is that you don't mess up. And Ted Williams with